In 2015, Ameer and his family arrived in Australia seeking asylum. Despite facing significant barriers, Ameer persevered through high school, graduating year 12 twice. He then received Deakin's Sanctuary Scholarship, giving him the opportunity to study his dream course of medical imaging. Now preparing for a future in medicine, he reflects on his journey, aspirations, and the crucial role scholarships play in providing life-changing access to higher education. Recorded on the lands of the Wadawurrung people, this is Stories of Wonder. Hi, Ameer.
Hi, Don.
Welcome.
Thanks. Good to see you.
This is a big day for you, so I'm surprised that you're so calm because you've actually hopefully finished studying something here at Deakin. What have you been studying?
I've been studying a Bachelor of Medical Imaging, and I've just finished my final assessments a couple of weeks ago, so I'm a bit relieved.
How are you feeling about them?
No, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, we'll see how we go. Marks are not out yet, but feeling optimistic.
We want to talk a bit about just your story and how you ended up studying here and, you know, hopefully completing this amazing course here at Deakin. So you were born in Libya, is that right?
Yeah.
In September 2001?
Yeah.
Yeah, a very interesting time for that part of the world. And then you moved pretty quickly to the UAE and then to Iraq, which by that time was war-torn. Tell me a little bit about growing up there and anything you remember.
Look, I'm Iraqi. My dad used to work in Libya as a lecturer in Libya in civil engineering. And, you know, so that's why I was born there. And shortly after we moved to the UAE, where he was working as an engineer, 4 years later, you know, his work visa has expired and we had no other place but to return to Iraq. So, yeah, that's when I returned to Iraq. Iraq is war-torn. There's always drama in Iraq. There's always something happening, unfortunately. My family was reaching a point where they were thinking it's no use to stay in Iraq. Future is not stable. Nothing is stable in Iraq. And when ISIS really occupied a third of Iraqi territory back in 2014, you know, my family decided to leave Iraq one way or another. So I guess when my father received an offer to finish his PhD here at Deakin in Australia, it was a relief for us. It was amazing, as it meant a new beginning and a way to a better future, really.
Yeah, quite a dramatic difference, I would imagine, because with the rise of ISIS, I believe your family was sort of being questioned about whether they harbored any kind of westernized sort of views on things.
Yeah, people were very accusative. They would, I guess, accuse you of harboring westernized ideologies for the way, you know, your clothes or the way you talk. Or it was a very intense period, and I believe it still is. Over that part of the world, it's very easy to be accused of, you know, being westernized when you're really just, you know, living your normal life.
So the family moves to Australia in, what, 2015, 2014, 2015?
Correct, yeah.
Because your father got a scholarship here at Deakin.
Yeah.
You didn't speak any English when you arrived, did you?
Not at all.
What was that like?
It was very, I guess, intense, but it's just funny because the school I went to had no international students at all. It was just me and my brother.
And what year were you, like, how old were you when you moved?
I was midway through year 8.
Through year 8?
Yeah.
Wow. So right like in the thick of high school.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, it was
Whoa.
It was a bit intense. Not having anyone that speaks Arabic in my school was a bit challenging, but it was also the reason why I guess my language developed quickly, because I was forced to speak English. There was no other language to communicate other than English, really. And I think it had a silver lining in the end, in that my language progressed very well quite rapidly.
And you moved schools a little bit, but, you know, you were already in year 8 and then very quickly you would have been nearing sort of VCE level. Was that difficult? And was it ever a consideration to like not do VCE and do something different?
For me, not at all. VCE was the goal, getting into university and finishing my tertiary studies was, my goal throughout my life. And I was willing to do anything really to get there. And if it meant that I had to move, to different schools just to pursue that, then so be it. We moved countries to pursue a better life and a better future. So
yeah. So I believe that you had to move schools in the end because you were being a little bit discouraged by one of the schools to maybe do VCAL instead of VCE. But you kind of knew what you wanted to do. You knew you wanted to go to uni at the end of it. So how did moving schools work at that kind of critical point of your education, and what did it mean for your family?
Well, I was nearing year 10, and the student advisor, I guess, they had good intentions, and that it would have been easier to, I guess, pursue VCAL in terms of communication.
Was it purely because of your English skills, do you think?
Look, partly because of that, and mostly because the school I was at had a majority of international students, and many of them, like it was an international student center in Geelong, like a public school, and many of them, I guess, were pursuing VCALs. And I guess when you're exposed to that number of students that pursue a certain path, you just assume that everyone is going to be inclined to go down that way.
So it was a common thing. It wasn't,
No. Like
they weren't singling you out.
No, the majority of the students at that school took the that path out. And I guess, when I was explaining that, no, that's not what I want, they were a bit worried that perhaps I was going to struggle, I was going to get overwhelmed by the load of work at VCE, and then I would just set myself up to failure, really. So I've decided to move to a different school, which I ended up staying there and completed my high school there, Belmont High School.
And your family had to move suburbs to get into that school, right? Correct.
They had a radius zone to which they can accept students from. And, we tried contacting them a couple of times, but, moving there, and they were like, unless you're in that radius, we really can't do much. So, yeah, we moved into that area.
What was that conversation like with your family?
Look, my family prioritizes education in general. And they want a better future for us, really. They were like, if we have to, move suburbs in order for you to complete what we know you can achieve, we can do that. There's no problem. Yes, it's going to be a bit hard, but there's no problem. We'll just do it. And yeah, I'm very pleased that my family is very supportive, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, I think we all are very pleased for you. How did you know at that age, 16 or 17, that you definitely wanted to do VCE because you wanted to go to university? Did you know what you wanted to study at that point? It's such a big decision to make at that age. I don't know that I'd be making that kind of call.
I guess I'm lucky in that I knew what I wanted to do, ever since I started school. I wanted to pursue a career in healthcare and eventually end up doing medicine if the chance permits. And that's my goal. I want to be the first medical doctor in the family. I wouldn't say the first doctor in the family. I was always inclined to do medicine. My goal was to do medicine. So I knew in order to get to there, I need to do VCE.
Not only did you do VCE, you finished year 12 with the 92 enter, and then you did it again. Why?
Well, simply because I wasn't offered a full fee paying scholarship, and I couldn't afford international tuition fees. So I was like, my best option is to just repeat and try again, really, try to get a better ATAR. Maybe then I'll be able to land a scholarship that will pay for my tuition fees. I wasn't aware of the Sanctuary Scholarship at the time. So I didn't apply to it initially in my first year.
Yeah.
And then in my second year, one of my teachers mentioned that one of their students got the Sanctuary Scholarship and was in similar shoes as me. And that's how they went through with it. So I started Googling it, and then I found out about the scholarship, and everything happens from there, I guess.
And for those who don't know, can you explain what a sanctuary scholarship is?
A Sanctuary Scholarship is a full tuition fee paying scholarship for refugees and asylum seekers on, I guess, bridging visas, chef heaven visas, protection visas that are not entitled for a HEX loan for territory studies. And it changes lives, I guess.
I'm amazed at you. I mean, firstly, what was it like to do year 12 again?
Look, many people are like discouraging, and I understandably, like everyone tried to explain that a 92 ATAR is exceptional as it is, and provided that perhaps I did not get a scholarship with a 92 ATAR, it's very hard to go up from there and aim for a scholarship or something that would, cover my tuition fees. And
did you go up from there?
I did, yeah.
How high up did you go?
Marginally.
Yeah.
So 93, I think it was 93.20 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, like my school was understanding, Belmont High. Well, like, they congratulated me about a 92, was a couple of weeks ago. Then a couple of weeks later, I call them back and I'll be like, hey, I'm repeating year 12.
Yeah, I guess he's coming back.
Yeah. So they were like...
It is exceptional. I think I got a 76 or something. And I'm sitting here talking to you. So that's amazing.
It's just a tool or a pathway to get into uni. It has no really significance after once you get into uni, really.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just can't get over your determination as a young person who wasn't even an adult yet to know exactly what it will mean for your future to just push a little bit more.
Look, my family did not have an easy life, and yet they provided the best life they could have for me. So the least I can do is just make them proud, and they'll be just happy to see me doing what I want to do. And if that's what I want to do, I might as well, just sacrifice another year for it,
Explain to me what the feeling was like when you found out that you got the scholarship, the Sanctuary Scholarship from Deakin.
It was unbelievable. I was literally jumping through the roof, I received a call. It wasn't even like an email or anything. They personally called me and they're like, congratulations, you got the scholarship. And I was like, nah, like, this is not true, like are you sure? They were like, yes. And I was like, so I straight up started screaming, really, telling everyone I got the scholarship. And it was like, I was under a fair bit of pressure, doing year 12 twice. And like, I took a risk and it was worth it.
A massive risk. Yeah. It's such an incredible decision to do that. And the fact that you pushed through and did it and then got the scholarship. What did your family think?
They were very proud. They were very pleased, and I can't say it was my achievement only, because they've been there throughout 2 years of year 12, throughout my whole life, really, supporting me, encouraging me, providing me with everything I need, so I never saw my family happier before, really.
Yeah. Are you an only child?
No, I've got 2 other siblings.
Are they younger than you?
Yeah, both are younger.
Right. How are they going with their stuff, by the way?
Ali, he's 22 and he's also a Sanctuary Scholarship recipient, studying computer science at Deakin. And Hassan is only 6 years old.
And he's got a Sanctuary Scholarship studying computer science at Deakin as well. Okay, so you get the scholarship, but you still have to work a bit to support your family, right? Your father ends up having to go back home. Is he still there, or is he
He's still there. He's still there.
and you're left to kind of help support the family while you're studying. Your mum doesn't speak or didn't speak fluent English at the time?
Well, she's improving now, but
Yeah.
when he left, she spoke hardly any English, really. She has Hassan, who was turning 4 at the time, so it was a full-time commitment for her.
And was your younger brother in high school at the time as well?
Yeah, Ali was in year 12, so we didn't want to we wanted to provide him with the same environment that I had, and considering that he is not entitled for a HEX fund either, so it was very extreme for him as well.
Did that mean that things like parent-teacher interviews and things like that, you had to kind of be there to help translate, or what was the deal?
Pretty much everything. My mum did not have a driver license back then, so I was the only one with a driver license, and so I was there during parent-teacher interviews. I was there during medical appointments to just drive him there and interpret at the same time.
That sounds like a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. How did your first years of studying go, dealing with all of that?
It was a bit challenging. Like I said, I was taking care of Hassan, including, dropping him off, picking him up from kindergarten and later school. Taking care of groceries. I had to take care of expenses such as rent and bills. And what that meant for me was that I needed to work 30 to 40 hours a week, really.
30 to 40 hours a week?
Pretty much, yeah.
While you were studying?
Yeah, to cover these expenses. I held 2 part-time jobs.
When did you work? There's not enough hours in the day. When did you work?
Well, that's the thing. I was pretty much like a typical work day for me would be like, attending lectures or labs as early as 8 a.m. and being there to about 3 p.m. in terms of my lectures and, uni work.
Wow.
And after that, I'll go back. I was working afternoon shifts, which was about from 4 till 12. So I was ending up back home around 1 a.m. by the time I get home, and that's pretty much it. I was taking a week off prior to exams, or assessment due dates, just to sort of get things running.
That's not sustainable for talk to some actual Deakin students. Having an 8 a.m. lecture is not sustainable for them, and it's probably the only thing they're doing that entire day. Like, let alone starting your day at 8 a.m. at, studying at Deakin and then not getting home until 1 a.m. after work. That's crazy. How long were you able to sustain that for? Were there concessions made? Did your work, at uni suffer or have to change?
Well, I've passed. I've got decent marks, but the way I think about it is, have I not had these kind of responsibilities and these kind of commitments, my marks would have reflected my potential more. And I am a bit worried, provided that I'll use these marks in my undergraduate, in my application for medical school. As you know, I'm trying to pursue medicine. So, and medicine is a competitive course as it is, and they want the best of the best. I just hope that someone can see this, or, there's a system which they can review my circumstances during that period, because had I been a regular student, rest assured my marks would have been, medicine level.
Did you have to slow the course down or anything like that, go part-time, or
No.
were you full steam ahead?
No, I was full-time.
Wow. Well, let's talk about the future then. You got 2 ATARs. You've already passed a bit of this. You're hopefully about to graduate. We'll find out today. What is next? So you want to study medicine?
Yeah.
Why?
It's just my passion. Sometimes you just can't explain it, but I always knew I wanted a career in medicine or in healthcare. I just find the fact that you manage a patient's treatment plan from start to finish is just very rewarding, which is what you'd be doing in most medical specialties. I like working in medical imaging. I like radiography. I plan to work as a radiographer for the next few years, but I hope to ultimately end up doing medicine. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I just want to do it.
That's great. And so what are the next steps from here?
Currently, I'm volunteering at the Welcome Place, which is an organization in Geelong that help asylum seekers and refugees, and one that I have been accessing in the past. Now that I'm graduated and I've got a bit more free time, I've decided to volunteer there. I'm excited about starting working as a radiographer and just get into the healthcare system, really. And I've already started studying for the GAMSAT, which is an exam you got to take as part of the medical application process. And we'll see where we go from there.
A few random ones for you. In the course that you're now finishing at Deakin, were there any particular highlights? Was there anything strange you had to do as part of your course for the first time?
Overall, I really liked this course, to be honest. I think it was much thought had been put into it, and there was plenty of placements that we went on to, experience and be exposed to the variety of the healthcare system and of the radiography field. So you'd be exposed to clinics, hospitals, rural, metropolitan, interstate. I wouldn't change anything about the course, but if I had to change one thing, it would be the interstate or the away from home placement requirement. I thought it was challenging to accommodate, especially considering my circumstances.
What was the support like for you, considering all of your kind of circumstances at home and studying?
The scholarship itself did not just simply include the tuition fees. No, it was continuous support throughout the whole course, and I really appreciate that. Shout out to Richard Mainsfield.
Richard.
He was my academic mentor throughout the course. He provided me with some textbooks that I borrowed throughout the course to aid with my studies. He was checking on my progression, and I think that was in collaboration with the scholarship team. I've also accessed the wellbeing and had support from the wellbeing case manager, Marina, throughout this course, and this included DUSA membership, a parking permit for my on-campus activities, which was really handy. In addition to the regular check-ins and support letters when it comes to placements and all that. So I've had plenty of support. My family was supportive, as I've mentioned a couple of times. My mum, my dad, my two brothers, and it's been really great. In terms of hospital scrubs and supplies that I need to fulfill the requirements of the course, like placement uniforms, it all came down from the scholarship grants that I was receiving.
So you want to study medicine, and you've gone through all of this study so far, 2 ATARs, a long uni journey so far, the Sanctuary Scholarship. How are you feeling about your application and moving on to the next step and getting in, I guess, somewhere that you're happy to study?
Look, Dom, not gonna lie, it's been in my head. I'm a bit worried about the application process, because medicine is a very competitive course as it is. It's probably the most competitive course there is. But I'm very optimistic about Deakin's medicine. I'm a Deakin graduate, and I've liked the Warren Pond campus where the medical school is, and we'll see how we go.
Finally, what advice would you have for someone young who's in a very similar situation that you were, back in kind of the mid-2000s, moving to Australia, wanting to finish their studies and study something like you are?
The one thing I can say is keep working. In a country like Australia, it's community, it's people. really admire and support hard workers. So keep working. Don't worry about technicalities and complications, visa issues, stuff like that. Work hard. Keep a clear sight of your dream and what you want to do, and don't be discouraged by the first person that says, no. And I'm sure good things will come your way. Like I said, the people of Australia, the community is very supportive. It provides opportunities like Deakin Sanctuary Scholarship, and I'm sure there's many more. Maybe not when I first started, but I know that now many universities have a sanctuary or a refugee kind of scholarship. Monash, Melbourne, many other universities, now they've started to adopt that. Deakin was the first though. So I really like that. And I'm sure you'll get your way, I guess.
Ameer, thank you so much for chatting to us today and telling us your story. And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Or we'll edit this if it doesn't go that way. Commiserations. But congratulations.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.